We come to arguably the most difficult race of the evening to solve. The tote.co.uk free streaming every UK race handicap, a Class 6 event over 6 furlongs. And in shot is the grey, the Tron, one of a couple of greys in this field. Derek Shaw trains, Allard Beach claims the 5. And the Tron has been in good nick recently. He's 0 from 9, but the penny has dropped and he gets what's needed of him now. 3 recent thirds back that up. He's been a beaten favourite the last twice at Wolverhampton, over 6 and 7 last time out. But off this mark, he would be a leading player. He's unchanged on 46. He's one of those in the field who's shown his hand somewhat. If anything here is lurking on a good mark, he could find one or two too good again, but that might not be the case. This is fairly low-grade stuff. He's tactically versatile, no bad thing with him being drawn in stall 11. So that is number 9, Tron, and just behind is number 4, Got No Dollars, Marco Gianni. Fairly lukewarm on Got No Dollars chance in the tongue tie, but just the second start for Stuart Williams, having shown bits and pieces of form for Richard Hughes. 0 from 7 so far. The stable debut didn't go to plan at Yarmouth. He jumped the path early shortly after the start, never really got into it and was beaten into 10.5 lengths into 10th. Dropped a couple of pounds for that. Did run okay here earlier in the year over 10. Connections stick with sprinting though, and it's too soon to write him off, for all that plenty more you would imagine would be needed. The bell has gone, so I'm just going to see if we've got any of the other particularly fancied horses. Potentially number 7, if number 7 is around. I'm just going to ask cameraman Paul to spin right back around to near the top of the parade ring. There's number 7, the Charcoal Grey, and that's Lasting Beauty. Now, any money for a horse from this yard, the John Butler yard, is worth noting. Ryan Tate up on this filly, 0 from 8 and unplaced in all starts, but there's been enough promise to suggest a low-grade race might fall her way. Her last 5 starts have seen her beaten fewer than 6 lengths on each occasion. A couple, she was just out of the money. Yarmouth and Wolverhampton runs beaten less than 3 lengths in July and August respectively. Down a further £2 to 49. She's well drawn to grab a position with a clean break from stall 5. And the last run was over 7 furlongs at Lingfield. She was too free to be effective. 6 furlongs, you would hope, would help with that. So that's Lasting Beauty, has attracted some support. Runners are filtering all the way out. We can just pick up number 10 in behind there. That's Jeremiah Johnson, Neil Callan looking for a first winner on the card. Wearing the cheek pieces, Jeremiah Johnson, 0 from 5, but like a few in this field, he suddenly showed a bit more on his last start over 7 furlongs. The shortest trip he'll have faced so far tonight, and cheek pieces giving out improvement. Stall 3, he does tend to be slowly away. That could be a problem. He could cop a lot of kickback if he's slow again. So there's a few of the horses in the paddock. We'll pick up a few more on track. The lights are on at Chelmsford. The floodlights kick off. We've got 3 more races for you on Racing TV Extra, the Chelmsford channel. It's the tote.co.uk free streaming every UK race handicap. The Tron, your current 5-2 favourite. Aisha, 11-2 and on the drift. 13-2 Lasting Beauty. Got No Dollars is 7-1. 15-2 Admirable Lad. Interesting Admirable Lad, but also on the drift. And it's bigger prices, the remainder. The Tron at the top of the market, heads up an open field. This gelding is 0 from 9 so far, but as we noted in the paddock, the penny really is starting to drop with him, and he's starting to prove quite consistent. Third in his last 3 starts, mixing 6 and 7 in terms of trip. Has been a beaten favourite the last twice, and I think that might be why the market is being a little bit lukewarm about him. So that's the Tron, the favourite of a few of the other ones that we didn't pick up in the paddock. Admirable Lad definitely comes into the reckoning under Joey Haynes for Chelsea Banham, another 3-year-old gelding. Stall 12 does temper enthusiasm slightly, but Admirable Lad is certainly no mug around this kind of grade, and he showed that at Wolverhampton in April, where he justified favouritism off 48. He is £7 higher, but he's been taking his racing pretty well on the whole, off higher marks. Placed efforts at Yarmouth and Wolverhampton followed that win, and only recently he's been starting to feel the pinch when he got picks up to 57. Now he's back down to 55, a mark he's been competitive on as recently as June, and if he gets the breaks, he could be very interesting. A filly that I saw when I was at Leicester in early July, First Verse, I thought was interesting back on the all-weather. Yes, she's 0 from 6, and she's not progressing after a couple of promising efforts earlier in the year. But she showed definite promise behind Mine's a Double, who's now rated 94 and is 3 from 3 in his career, and Hallo Sabile, who hacked up in the last at Carlisle yesterday. She travelled well, but she couldn't find more when push came to shove. I thought she'd go better on the all-weather, for all that she is a big price. But this isn't too much of a race, and it does feel like the ones at the top of the market are far from infallible. We've mentioned Got No Dollars and Lasting Beauty and Admirable Lad. How about the Chain, the filly? Safi Osborne claiming the 5 for Father Jamie. She's the difficult filly to predict. She's been steadily dropping in the weight since being allotted 66 as an opening mark. Her most interesting form came 2 starts ago here over 7, where she didn't look to get home. So 6 around here does bring her into things, you would imagine.
Slightly disregard that run at Yarmouth when finishing behind Aisha. Sort of tracked the leaders and jumped the pathway and lost a little bit of ground. So yeah. I think you can just put a line through that and move on to the play.
But what they're trying to do is obviously, you know, this time, the last time the horse ran at Chelmsford was over 1 mile and 2. So they're obviously trying to reinvent the horse or turn the horse into more of a sprinter.
Yeah, and he's by showcasing that other Dansley mare. So I would have thought they're just trying to reinvigorate and work out what the horse's perfect setup is. And he's, as you say, he's a 7-race 3-year-old gelding, and they're just trying to learn what he needs.
And that man, Marco, looks for the double, having had a winner earlier on in the card, that being Evelyn Drew, and he's now got the mount on Got No Dollars for Stuart Williams, his great ally over the last couple of years or so. Over to Anthony for race 6 of the 8.
Thank you, Nicholas. Yes. On we go to the 6 furlong handicap. This is a very tricky race to try and decipher, as you would imagine, from the top of the market, in which the 0 from 9 Tron is currently your 5-2 favourite, just clipped in a tiny bit from 11-4. I don't think the ones at the top of the market are bomb-proof by any measure. I thought Admirable Lad, if he could negate his wide draw, he would be very interesting. But there's plenty in behind here who, if they improve a little bit, could be very competitive. The likes of, if Forgotten Realm suddenly worked out what horse racing's all about, he could be interesting. I thought First Verse back on the all-weather should see her back into some kind of form, albeit that she hasn't exactly blown everything apart when she's been on the track. There you can see number 10, that's Jeremiah Johnson. Neil Cullen just proving a little bit difficult to load. Just trying to convince Jeremiah Johnson to head towards the stalls, but nothing doing at the moment. There are plenty in here who are going to benefit from more racing. There are plenty in here who probably don't have the greatest of ability either, to put it kindly. But the likes of Aisha, you can see why Aisha, the filly, is near the top of the market. She could be a pace angler from stall 7, usually up with the pace, as she can be keen. And one of her best runs came here in April when chinned by Silver Nemo, who's very good around here. And largely run well since, although the odd try of a 7 furlongs hasn't yielded much, and sticking to 6, I think, looks a good move tonight. Got No Dollars, as Nick noted. Marco Gianni looking for the double, loads up. And only a few more to go forwards. As first verse in the background, Brazen Arrow. Touch on him, Stefano Kirkley for Christine Dunnett in the first time. Cheap pieces, stall 10 could be tricky to navigate. Did outrun his 80-to-1 price last time with 4.5 lengths off the pace in 6th at Yarmouth, and was in front of Got No Dollars but behind Aisha. So a really tricky puzzle to solve. And with 3 to go, let's head up to John Blance to see how it all unfolds.
Thanks, Anthony. Admirable Lad goes in. Forgotten Realm goes forward. First verse will be the last to move forward in the hands of Ellie Mackenzie. And we've still got the chain to go in as well. There's an enormous tent in front of me obscuring the 6 furlong start at the moment. There's some serious entertainment coming up here at Chelmsford in the next few weeks. Everything being set up for that. The chain into stall 13. Stand by. They're ready. They're off and racing. Pretty level break. Rather slowly away was the chain in the tote.co.uk free streaming every UK race handicap over the 6 furlongs. Aisha was away well. The purple jacket. Lady Susie in the green and red is also prominent. Got No Dollars is indeed as well. The Tron, the grey horse there in the black and white colours, also in the front rank. Admirable Lad is in danger of being trapped rather wide. Just going on from that one is Brazen Arrow in the blue sleeves. Jeremiah Johnson is pulling very hard. Then on the inside, Dilly Rose very wide is Jonathan's Princess, followed then by First Verse, Forgotten Realm towards the rear of the field, so too Ra Racer in the chain, and right at the back of the field in the striped sleeves there is Lasting Beauty as they begin to make the swing inside the final 2.5 furlongs, and it's Lady Susie that's out in front but driven along. The Tron, who's been in pretty good form of late, has had a nice run in transit and turns in second. Then Aisha and Got No Dollars, followed then by Brazen Arrow, then Admirable Lad down the centre of the track there, then on from Dilly Rosa and the rest, down towards the final furlong they come. Got No Dollars just about draws alongside the Tron and Got No Dollars. Battle is joined inside the final half furlong now, and it's Got No Dollars for Gianni, who's going on here, and in the end skips away to win. Got No Dollars beats the Tron, who has to settle for a minor position again. Then First Verse and Aisha in a photo for third.
It's Marco again. He gets the double up. Got No Dollars is off the mark at the 8th attempt, and sticking to 6 furlongs has worked the oracle. Only the second start for Stuart Williams, and it's come to fruition in some style. Tron placed again. Really good run in third there for First Verse, who back on the all-weather has been able to show exactly what she's all about. Quite a messy race for a few of them looking for positions early, didn't manage to get them, and being on the front end certainly looked to be an advantage, and Tron looked perfectly placed as they were rounding the turn. But Got No Dollars has found extra, hasn't been with Stuart Williams all that long, just a second start, and just smuggled in behind the leader. Tron has had a target on his back, and Got No Dollars, sticking to 6 furlongs, has put in a great effort. Look at where First Verse is coming, is running on. The penny's just starting to drop with her, and she's running on past a few tired horses in behind. Aisha just run out of the places